Hello and welcome. Today we're going to crack one of the first and maybe one of the most confusing puzzles for anyone learning Spanish. The whole deal with the letters C, S, and Z. We're going to make it all make sense, and we'll be focusing specifically on the Spanish you'll hear all across Latin America. So let's just dive right in.
So if you're just starting out on your Spanish journey, I bet you've noticed this. The C in casa has that hard K sound, but the C in cielo has a soft S sound. It's the exact same letter, so what's going on here? You know, this trips up so many people, but I promise you, the answer is way simpler than you think.
The easiest way to think about it is that the letter C is kind of like a superhero with a secret identity. Seriously, depending on which letter comes right after it, it completely changes its sound, its personality. Today, we're going to unmask that secret identity for good.
And that brings us to the heart of it all. It's just a simple vowel rule. That's it. No need for complicated charts or trying to memorize a million exceptions. The only key you need is to just look at the letter that comes right after the C.
Okay, so here it is, the big reveal. When C is followed by the vowels A, O, or U, it makes that hard K sound. Think casa. But when it's followed by an E or an I, it makes that soft S sound, like in the word cero. It's that consistent. It's really that simple. I love this way of thinking about it from our source material. The C is a tricky character that likes to play two roles. If you give the letter a little personality, it actually makes the rules so much easier to remember, doesn't it?
Now, to take this one step further, let's imagine that the letter C belongs to two different sound families. It's got one team of letters it hangs out with to make the K sound and a completely different group for the S sound. Let's go meet them.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Look at the K sound family on the left. You've got C with a O and U, Q and K. They're all on the same team making that hard K sound. Then, over in the S sound family for Latin America, you've got C with E and I, S and Z. In Latin America, all of these make the exact same soft S sound.
Let's hear that K family in action. Just listen to that hard sound, casa, cosa, cuerpo. You hear it? The C is making that K sound every single time, just because it's followed by an A, O, or U. Super predictable.
Now let's listen to the S family. Pay close attention here. Cero, cielo, zapato, sopa. Did you catch that? The C, the Z, and the S, they all sound exactly the same. This is one of the biggest features of the Latin American accent. Okay, so just when you think you've got it all figured out, there's a really interesting plot twist. The rules we just covered are for Latin American Spanish, but if you hop on a plane and go to Spain, you are going to hear something totally different. So this thing we've been describing, it actually has a name. It's called siseo. This is the standard pretty much everywhere in Latin America, from Mexico all the way down to Argentina. It just means you pronounce C before E, I, S, and Z, all with that crisp S sound. And this slide is the perfect example. In Latin America, the word casa, which is house, and gasa, which is hunting, are pronounced exactly the same, gasa. But in a lot of Spain, that Z in gasa gets a th sound, kind of like in the English word think. So you'd hear gasa for house, but gatha for hunting. That's a huge difference, right? Now, just to be super clear, for this explainer, we are focusing on the pronunciation used by the huge majority of Spanish speakers in the world, and that's the Latin American standard, the siseo.
All right, we've gone through the rules, the different families, and even the regional differences. So now let's wrap all this up with a simple, practical key that you can start using right away to get these letters right every time.
Here it is. This is your go-to guide, your personal cheat sheet, a simple three-step check. First, you spot the letter. If it's a C, your next move is to check the vowel that comes after it. Then you just apply the rule. A-O-U gets the K sound, E and I get the S sound. And remember, in Latin America, S and Z always get that S sound. That's all you need to know.
So why does all this matter? Well, this is the fun part. Now you've got the tools to really dive into the culture. You can confidently play a game of serpientes y escaleras, that's snakes and ladders, or even better, join a game of loteria, and you'll sound right at home. This is where learning these little rules really starts to pay off.
So there you have it. You've cracked the code. You get the two sound families, and you understand that major difference between Spanish and Latin America and Spain. And that leaves us with a really fun question for your own language journey. Which accent are you going to choose to speak?